Welcome to the sermon from Trinity Place. It's for the 19th week after Pentecost, Prop 21, the Revised Common Lectionary. My name is Cameron Miller, and this is just a little warning that you're not seeing it here online, but we are now back inside at Trinity Place in Geneva, and our premium is on keeping the worship service rather short for safety protocols. And so I'm going to be a lot more direct between points A and B or beginning to end than I often am. So just a little warning for you to be prepared. So the psalmist, Psalm 8 that we read, heard, asks, why, God, do you bother with us? Why do you bother with us? And I have so often at night, as I look into that umbilical channel between me and God, between us and it, between known and unknown, ask the same question. I've asked, why bother with us in the early light shimmering on the lake, piercing the squint, protecting my eyes from glistening jewels dancing there before dog and me? I've asked, why bother with us in sermons, though quietly, shyly, between the lines? Why would God bother with us, dust mites of stardust, in a small solar system in an even smaller galaxy? As a species, we are like, as Agent Smith said in The Matrix, we are more like a virus than a mammal. But hey, individually, we're all kind of cute, right? But sticking with that image, I think what so much of the sacred text is trying to say to us, to tell us, is you can change. You can change. You need to change. Here's how to change. Don't be a virus upon the planet. Don't be a virus that destroys other species. Don't be a virus that infects other humans with your dark matter or your corrupting influence. So put like that, because we're in a pandemic now, and we can so easily see how a virus spreads, maybe it will cause us to take a second look at ourselves, at our species, and what we are and how we act. Psalm 8 and that Rilke musing are much more compelling to me right now than unpacking Jesus' seemingly retrograde teaching about divorce. But those verses from Mark left to themselves are nasty and unsettling for anyone connected to a marriage breakup. But I would remind us that we've left Jesus in the dust many times. Turn the other cheek. Remember that one? If your eye offends, pluck it out. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love yourself. I could go on and on, as could you, naming the simple teachings of Jesus that are both ignored and refuted by capitalism, by militarism, by consumerism, by tribalism, by us. Fact is, we don't pay that much attention to Jesus. And indeed, it seems like those who preach about him the most are the ones who pay attention to him the least. All of which is to say that I don't really want to spend a lot of time unpacking this gospel any more than I wanted to unpack the if your eye offends, pluck it out, if your hand offends, cut it off last week. But I am going to do a drive-by unpacking simply because it's such an onerous little piece of Mark. Now you may remember me talking about this before, about how the question that Jesus is really being asked in this gospel story, as in some others, is whose side are you on, Hillel or Shammai? They were the two great teachers of Israel from the previous generation before Jesus, and they dominated theological thinking in his day. They argued about the proper justification for divorce. It was a matter of if you get divorced, not if you could get divorced. At stake in this argument, at least in part, was how a wife was to be treated, though neither Hillel nor Shammai saw husbands and wives as equal partners. Jesus, as usual, didn't side with either one. He changed the nature of the conversation. He basically said by implication, look, you may have a legal means for divorce, but when two have become one and then they separate, it's an amputation. Jesus is recognizing the trauma of divorce. Some say he was trying to protect women. I don't know. Some say he was raising Genesis above Deuteronomy. I don't know that either. We don't really know any more than we know why God bothers with us. But now I want to go back to that idea of change. Want to change, Rilke wrote. Be inspired by the flame where everything shines as it disappears. Rilke, so brilliant. Want to change. Want it. Don't just tolerate it or come grudgingly into it. Want to change, inspired by the fire. Yes, change involves loss. That's why we hate it. But resistance to change causes decay, as in we decay as we actively resist change, the change that is inviting us into the fire. What turns hard, Rilke wrote, becomes rigid and is easily shattered. Every happiness is the child of separation. It did not think it could survive. Every happiness is the child of separation. It did not think it could survive. Every day we have the opportunity to wake up to the opportunity to change. Every day. Every day we can ask ourselves if we're just trying to hang on and keep what we got, or are we letting go? Our every instinct is to hold on and clutch what we have and what we know and not let go of anything we don't have to. But that's the posture of a virus. It is holding on and grabbing for more and making sure that nobody gets what's ours, and that turns our species from a cute mammal to a death-dealing virus. Now, I don't have any special tricks or magic for how to let go, or more precisely, how not to resist change. I'm only a preacher. I can only tell you what's on the cue card that was given to me. But what I do know is that more than any other spiritual practice, becoming open to the flame that makes everything shine as it disappears is the very most important. I also know that much, if not most, of our religious traditions have been geared toward holding on and clutching what it has, and I believe that's why it is decaying now instead of leading us forward. It really does come down to how we think and how we frame our lives and the world that we live in. It really does matter how we think of it. Will we wake up in the morning and clutch what we have and fret about what we're going to lose? Or will we wake up and decide to be open and to trust fall into change that is in and around and among I truly do not know why God would bother with us, but I do know that God does. And I truly do not know why God cares which we are, but I do know it does matter to God whether we're mammal or virus. Stay well. Peace be with you.